And we're live.
Hey everybody, so I'm going to get our...
Let's check the stream up there, that way we can review comments. And we'll wait a couple minutes for a couple seconds for people to join. But if you're watching this from the beginning, today's April 4th, day 4 of our Magic Morning Live. I'm Davey, and this is Tracy from daveyandtracy.com. And we're live. Awesome. Okay. So... welcome to day 4. I can't believe this is day 4. We've done this 4 days already. We've got 3 more days left till April 7th on the full moon in Libra, which we're going to do a special thing for that.
And we talked about it. We're still going to continue doing this, maybe not every day, especially on the weekend. I think maybe this is not official, but maybe like a Monday, Wednesday, if you guys like it. But today we're going to do it a little bit differently because we've done... we wanted to share with you all of the knowledge. Today we want to start doing more of joining us. So we're going to do a little bit slower of pace. We're not going to go longer, but we're going to do a little bit more time on the gratitude, on the breaths, on the pausing, and...
basically, like, this isn't a show that we're putting on for you. This is a ritual that we're sharing with you, and we would really like it... we really want this to be participatory as well. We'd like you guys to just not sit there and watch it, but also follow along. So feel free, please, to share what you're grateful for when we go to the gratitude portion. If you have been watching this from day 1 and you created an altar, you were inspired to do that, feel free to post a picture of your altar. And whatever you are doing with if you're doing some kind of magic born yourself, we'd love to hear about it. Mm-hmm. Should we get started?
I think we're going to get started. We might not have as many people because it is Saturday, but you can watch it at any point. So we're going to start our singing bowl. Another candle for renewal.
Yep. And then take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I'm just lighting the cedar smudge stick. You can use essential oils, incense, sage, whatever you like.
It's just to help kind of cleanse anything, wash away sort of negative emotion or anything that has happened so far in the morning. Just washing it away so you can start fresh. Okay, and of course we always start with gratitude because gratitude is definitely something that really helps shift negative energy. So I'm going to go first today.
All right, go ahead.
I am grateful. This morning I got my family up and we went for a beautiful walk. It's a trail I've gone a couple times this week. I brought my son, and this morning we all got up and we all went on this beautiful hike. It was nice to connect as a family. We got to see one of the Erie Canal Lock 19. They're just kind of cool to see. So I'm just grateful that we are able to. I'm always blessed and grateful that we're able to be in this beautiful nature and, always for the little things, roof over our head, beds to sleep in.
I'm grateful for a warm, sunny day today. I mean, warm, it's 60 degrees, but, up here in upstate New York, that's warm for April. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we're all healthy. And
I know, we thought today was going to be a cloudy air day, but as we were on our walk, we realized it's a beautiful sunny day. So
we're gonna do a fire day today for our magic morning. Anything else you're grateful for?
Yeah.
And if you're watching the replay on this, feel free to comment in the video comments as well. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to put what you're grateful for.
Yeah, and don't forget, like I said, it's okay to be grateful for the small things, Sometimes especially now, we're realizing we take a lot of the small things for granted.
Yep, and definitely something I took for granted is just the, being able to pop into a bookstore or get together with friends on a Saturday, have dinner with friends,
Yeah.
so that's something that, we haven't been able to do for a couple of weeks and probably won't be able to do for a month or so. And definitely going to appreciate those kind of moments a lot more.
Yeah.
So moving on, we check in with the moon phase. And it is the waxing gibbous moon. A waxing gibbous moon represents refinement in your goals. It represents growth. And some of the things that you can journal about or ask yourself today is, how can I grow from what I'm experiencing right now? If you're experiencing hardship, or if things aren't quite going your way, the whole coronavirus pandemic, or if you're self-quarantined, what is something that how can this experience help you to grow? And another thing you could journal or reflect on is, what is the lesson here? If something's not going the way, or something feels like it's taken away from you, what's the lesson here? Are you clinging on to patterns and thoughts and beliefs and expectations that really aren't serving you? Maybe it's time to let go, release, and see what opportunities lie beyond this.
And that's hard, especially if it's something, that you've been working on very hard and you want it to work. It's hard letting go of something that you feel is kind of like something you really want to work, but,
Right.
And that's something creating new is something that Dave and I are working on right now, is that, like, reflecting on, okay, this business that we've been trying to, not our business, but our spiritual practice that we've been trying to work this muscle, and we do it a lot, we do it often, but we don't do it daily. And this is why for us, we're like, okay, we are going to share with you guys to kind of push ourselves to have that momentum, because we are going to show up for you guys.
This Magic Morning Challenge that we're doing is as much for us as it is for you guys too. So astrologically speaking, the moon is currently in the sign of Leo, which represents confidence, strength, and power and leadership. And today we're segueing from that sign. The moon is transitioning from the sign of Leo into Virgo, which represents purity and service. And so some of the things we reflect on, especially when you're asking these questions about how can I grow from this experience, or what is the lesson in the circumstances I find myself in, is think about channeling both that Leo and Virgo energy. The Leo energy of taking leadership and working on confidence, boosting the confidence that you have the inner wisdom and that you can handle whatever situation, but also shifting into that Virgo energy of purification and just making sure that you take time for self-care, that you are taking time to purify away the negative energy so that you can think clearly and see clearly and look for solutions, but also from a place of service and not just self-service. So, what is the lesson in what you're going through, and how can you turn these lessons in this growth experience into service for both yourself, your family, and possibly others, and maybe your neighbors. So just that's something that I'm going to be reflecting on today. Anything to share? Okay. What?
And sneezing.
Oh, yeah. So then next we're checking in with the season.
It's still spring.
It's spring, and one thing that Tracy and I noticed on our walk is that the geese are building nests right now.
Yeah, we actually saw a pair of geese building their nest on the river.
Yeah.
It's a little
and if you're
wetland area.
Right, and if you're watching this right now, feel free to give a comment. What are your favorite signs of spring? What have you noticed lately? What's blooming in your yard? This part of our ritual is a time to connect to both the energy of spring energetically, but also just the literal what's happening around you in your environment.
And the thing about spring is that even though it's not like winter where it's still winter, spring, it's like, depending upon early spring to mid spring to late spring, everything changes. Like now a lot of the trees are starting to bud. Like I said, we're starting to see animals making nests, the birds. We have geese. We live on the Mohawk River, and so we see the geese pairing up, and so it's definitely, every time we go out, we see more and more things. We're seeing a lot more of the flowers starting to pop up. So it's definitely more of
violets. We saw violets
violets,
blooming
yeah.
yesterday.
Everything's
so
definitely
first.
starting to grow, starting to bloom, starting to awaken. And so it's a nice feeling to kind of, when you emulate the nature of yourself, it's like, okay, it's time to, awaken and emerge into something so that at the end of spring, when summer's here, you are ready to shine. Kind of a metaphorical way to look at it. And so that's something to look at too, is how am I, right now, I'm starting as a seed, what am I going to plant to grow for this summer to bloom?
So then next we move on to the weather energy, and as Tracy mentioned in the beginning of this ritual, it is it's kind of cloudy, sunny day.
But I'm going to go with fire.
Yeah, I would say sun.
It was beautiful on our walk.
The sun is the dominant energy for today, so we're going to be working with the element of fire, and so we'll light our fire candle. I feel like we should put this up front here.
But you can't see it. That's why it's back here.
Oh yeah, no, they can see it just fine.
Comment that you can't see it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, light. Maybe it is an air day. Candle won't light. Hold on.
I think it's just getting too far low. Too low
Yeah,
down.
it's too low. There we go.
There we go.
So we lit the fire candle to work with the element of fire, and then we use two crystals that we work with. We have citrine, which represents prosperity, happiness, abundance, and orange calcite, which represents creativity, sensuality, and joy.
So we do a lot of gratitude when we do these just ourselves, and so this is something those two things we kind of reflect on is this joy, creativity, and abundance. So it's like this is where we kind of hold them and we kind of say things that are joy, creativity, abundance, and stuff like that. So I think a lot of times we forget about that, and we do have a lot of abundance in our life right now.
Even if you feel like you don't have abundance, there's always things that you can look for that you are abundant in.
I'm abundant in love and joy, because one of the things, my birthday's coming up at the end of this month, and can't do anything. I had a great birthday planned. All of it's canceled. And my husband's son were like, what do you want for your birthday? And even getting a gift, it's like they're just going to have to buy something on Amazon, and I don't really want to support Amazon right now. I just don't need a material thing. And I was like, what do I want for my birthday? And I was like, what I really want is just what I have is my son, my husband, doing something fun. And so I am very lucky to have a family of, we stop, we play together. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves to stop and smell the roses, but we do have a lot of joy, and I'm very appreciative of that at these times.
Yeah, I want to spend today just reflecting on, like I was saying, just enjoying the abundance of what I have, even if we tend to have a definition of abundance and then we ignore things that we take for granted. And this is definitely something with this pandemic experience has taught me is about taking things for granted. And
hi Sarah.
Like right now we have an abundance of sunshine.
We do.
We have an abundance of plant life springing up all around us, and greenery and bird life around us. So I want to reflect on that, and I want to today find some small way that I can be creative and kind of maybe express my gratitude through creativity. Mm-hmm. So
one of the things that we've been doing is for our son's school, they've been doing an art class, and so that's something that we're kind of focusing on as a family too, is just creative joy.
So let's pull a animal oracle deck, or oracle card. Or the whole deck. This would be a very long video.
Thanks for joining, Sarah. So we're kind of doing gratitude right now. We're focusing on, just to catch up, we're doing more, less teaching and more actual practice of the thing. So right now we're working with our crystals, our fire crystals, for reflecting on joy, abundance, and creativity.
All right, so the animal of the day is cat.
I was like, what should be geese?
Right, goose. So this is cat. I think you can see that. So it says cat. Keyword is independent. You are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. This
is something that I've really been trying to focus on a lot, and I think a lot of us do this. I'm realizing that my happiness definitely depends on others, doing something with other people. And I'm realizing that being happy, I create my own happiness. And if I can create my own happiness by myself, I can bring that joy to others. And that's something I've really, so for me, this card really resonates because I'm finding that I need to make myself happy. And even in times like this, if I can learn to make myself happy, I don't have to rely on others, which is a big, big thing.
Right.
Because other people don't have the same idea of fun as maybe you do.
Or, also, one thing I thought of too is that, if you feel like you are kind of being forced to be alone or independent, embrace that during this quarantine, and you don't have to rely on life being the way it used to be in order to be happy. You can find ways to be happy now. Mm-hmm. Tarot card for today is the Page of Wands, which,
a lot of wands.
Yeah, I know. I think we've had one cup card. I think everything else is wands.
Oh, yesterday we had stupid
10. Right. Yeah, I think we've had 3 wands in 1 cup. Strange squeal, but anyways. So the Page of Wands represents a new beginning. It represents childlike exuberance, and
I'm just gonna check on that squeal.
And enthusiasm. Yeah, we're hearing a strange noise from out there, so I don't know if it's out on the road or what's going on. So enthusiasm is another keyword for this card. So looking at everything together, what I'm clearly seeing here is with the moon phase, the waxing gibbous moon, really calling us to grow and reflecting on the lessons that we can take from our experiences and from our growth experiences, but maintain a childlike exuberance with it. Not resist a little less and lean into these experiences more. If they're an uncomfortable growth experience, or if your expectations are not quite being met, don't cling so hard. Lean into them a little more. Be a little more open to exploring different ways of doing things and different ways of thinking about looking at them, and embrace your independent cat side.
I'm gonna jump in super quick. This is actually something I was thinking about before this, because we went for a walk, and I was thinking about it, and we all have different expectations when we go for a walk, power walking versus checking out nature. And so it's releasing the expectations, and our son obviously is all about fun and joy, and sometimes when we just want to take a walk, it can be hard to just be when he wants to stop. But it's today we did a combination of both. So as we were walking, we just releasing the expectation of we're going for a power walk, and allowing him to just be hey, we did these weird shadow creatures, where we, because the sun was rising, so we had long shadows, and so we all kind of played about shadow creatures and stuff like that. And releasing that expectation of we're on a walk, we have to power walk, it made it a lot more joyous for all of us, because then we made more of a family memory. And that's something actually I was reflecting on, is just releasing that expectation of, I want to go for a walk, that means this, and allowing, embracing somebody else's version of what they want. and that can be just as joyous. And it worked out as a family, and we ended up having to power walk back. So we all kind of got a little bit of what we wanted, but, you know, we all were able to have a fun memory, and it was a lot more of a happy memory than it would be if we were arguing, like, I want to just go for a power walk, you know. So definitely, you know, in the big things of life, releasing your expectations, but break it down to the little things too, you know, like the day-to-day, and this goes back to the cat, being independent and being happy. If you allow your happiness, other people to make your happiness, you know, you don't think about the day-to-day right now being present. And if you can focus on joy right now and living in the present right now, you will stopping and just kind of stop and smell the roses, kind of speak. And it's like, you will definitely have a lot more joy.
Yeah.
It's funny because I literally was just thinking, as we were, like, I was brewing this coffee, and I was thinking about that, just the expectation. A lot of people, because we took a family photo of the three of us, and my son had the binoculars up. And of course, when he took the picture, I was like, I don't care. And we all kind of chuckled, because then he looked like a little robot. Like, who's the robot? Wiley? No, who's the robot?
Oh, I don't know what.
The circuit dude with the robot eyes.
Oh, are you like Short Circuit?
Yeah,
like,
he looked like a little robot.
Right.
And so it was just funny. Of course, we all laughed. Yeah, we all kind of laughed, and it was silly. And I just think about all of, like, the family photos, and people are like, I have to have the family photo where everyone's looking and smiling. And it's like, our son has a big personality, and I've kind of given up. I'm like, you know, the reality is, I'd rather look back 20 years from now and see a photo of his personality, because then I can show him, you know, his children. Look at your father. Look how goofy he was. You know, and so it's like, 25, you know, so it's like releasing the expectation and giving into other people's, you know, allowing other people to help in sharing your joy.
Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up. Sarah says she's grateful for warmer temperatures and sun, and since you pulled cat, I'm grateful for Hector.
Hector's her cat.
So.
Did we check in? We checked in with fire.
Yeah,
We checked in
yeah,
with season.
we're done.
Okay.
We're done. So thanks for watching day 4. We'll be back here tomorrow for day 5, and Monday and Tuesday as well. Tuesday's the full moon, so we're going to be doing something special for the full supermoon in Libra, which will be fun. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy this. And like I said, feel free, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and post your gratitude. Go ahead and post.
But again, this is supposed to be us doing it with you, so feel free to light your candle.
Yeah.
Feel free to have some sage. Feel free. You don't have to sit here and watch it. Obviously, if you don't have these tools, you're welcome to just join in with us and use our tools. But if you have them, feel free to use them. So, all right, we're gonna close with our prayer.
Oh yeah.
Which I know, except if I look at the piece of paper. For all of today, I will love. For all of today, I will trust. For all of today, I will be true to myself. For all of today, I will be kind to myself. I will be kind. I will give thanks. See, I know it if I don't have it from the paper. For all of today, I will give thanks for my many blessings. For all of today, I will be kind to myself and to my neighbor and to every living thing.
So strike the singing bowl. We'll take 3 deep breaths. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys later, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.